What's going on, guys? Nice here on the Spooling Up channel. Back on the MK4 Golf GTI today, just to sort out a few issues that I'm unhappy with and tidy up the engine bay a little bit. So as you know, I've been getting the car ready for a stage 2 map. Last pieces of the puzzle performance wise are to upgrade the fuel pump and get the Bosch 550cc injectors fitted, but that will be done closer to the day of mapping, because I know that you can't really fit the injectors without having the car running on a new map. But for today, what I'm going to be doing is there are a few things in the engine bay I'm unhappy with, and I really want to sort them out because they're annoying me. So once I get them sorted, once I get the brakes on, and once I get the track rods changed because one of them seized and the car's not tracking properly, then I can look at fitting the fuel pump and the injectors and then getting the car mapped. But for now, it's all about sort of like vacuum hoses and stuff like that in the engine bay that are messy and I'm unhappy with. So let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Right, so all of the issues are actually over in this area here. The catch can, the diverter valve, the N75 valve, it's all a big mess. I want to sort it all out, get a new hose on here because this one is just not fitting nicely anymore since I fitted the intercooler, because the position's changed. And yeah, I just want to get a couple of these hoses that go to and from the N75 valve swapped over as well, because they're looking real messy. And yeah, I'd just like to upgrade some bits. I'm going to be changing where the catch can goes. It's no longer going to be terminating into the tip, because it will still be getting some moisture and some of that, some of those nasty fumes from the PCV system into the intake. I'm going to vent this completely to atmosphere. Yeah, so let's get cracking, man. I'm just going to start stripping some of these bits off now and clear up this whole area. Oh yeah, also I'd actually got my car vacuum boost leak tested, and the two caps that I put underneath the inlet manifold were leaking, but now I've got nice bigger ones on there. They're all tied up nicely, and hopefully when I go back for a boost leak test it passes. And I'm also going to be changing the dipstick and dipstick tube, because as you can see, parts of it are beginning to break off and we don't want them going into the engine. Right, so the first casualty of the day is the old dipstick tube. It's so brittle, it just snapped off. Now I was going to change this originally when I did the SAI deletes and stuff, but didn't get around to doing it. I don't know why, but I actually sheared off from this piece, which was actually left down here, but I had to break it off to get it off. And I'm just feeling around now because there's a rubber seal around there, just feeling around to make sure that it's okay. I think it may be rubber, it may actually just be like a metal lip, but the new dipstick tube's just going to slide over that now. I'll fit that, and I've got my new dipstick here as well, so let's just get those on. Just to give you guys an insight into how brittle this plastic actually gets, you can literally just start breaking it up in your hands, and on the dipstick itself, all of these bits are just breaking off. So out with the old, in with the new. Should just slide on and pop over that little metal lip in there, so that's all good. Right guys, so all I've done is I've removed my air filter and heat shield, and I've just disconnected the two hoses from the catch can so I could get it out of the way. And this one will be remaining coming from the oil cooler, and this one I'll be rerouting it to atmosphere, but I'm not going to be dealing with that just yet. First of all, what I'm going to do is undo this hose from the diverter valve and undo the ones from the N75. What I wanted to do was I wanted to replace this hose, which goes down to the wastegate actuator, comes off the N75, but actually down there at the turbo itself, it's got one of those really annoying crimped clips on it. So, and it's a different size as well, it actually reduces it in size. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to replace this piece for now, and I'll also be replacing this one here. So I've got this hose here from Auto Silicone Hoses. I've actually got a whole meter length of it, so that's what I'm going to be using. So it's just time to get that off and get the new bit on. Right guys, so what I've done is with this piece of hose, I've gone around the diverter valve. The reason why I've gone around the diverter valve is because to get it here and kink it at the last minute would be no good, and I can't really position the N75 in any other way. So where it sits there is the best, and obviously I've replaced the one over the back. What this is this right here is some really bendy hose with, like, it's got a metal cord wrapped around it so it stops it from kinking. And because I've got to do quite a crazy angle to get this to link up to the diverter valve, I didn't want a piece of hose that was just going to kink. So because of that cord wrapped around on the inside, it stops it from kinking. I can literally flex this anywhere, bend it over, bring it to the diverter valve, and it's obviously a lot better than it was before. So I'm just going to connect this last piece up and see how everything looks. Right guys, so the last thing to do before I put everything back together is I'm going to be blanking off that part of the tip with one of these blank off bungs or plugs. Just going to slide that in there and I'll do that Jubilee up, and then I'll be showing you where I'll be routing the catch can outlet instead. Right guys, so now the outlet of the catch can, I've got it running all the way down to the back of the subframe. So it's completely underneath the car and as far back as possible so that any fumes coming out of that aren't smelting the cab, because before, like I said, it was going into the tip. That point's now been terminated, and I had it running down here at one point a minute ago, but the best place for it is all the way back there, and hopefully when the car's moving, the wind will just blow any fumes away from me inside the car. So it's time to just put everything back together now and take the car for a test drive. Okay, so for the vacuums coming to and from the N75 valve, I was originally using this 8mm hose because I read online someone saying that that was the size of the ports on the N75 valve. Stupidly, I ordered something that was exactly the same size, and it slid in and out or on and off the N75 valve so easily. I knew I was going to have vacuum leaks, so I had to get rid of this stuff, and I ordered some 6mm vacuum hose, and this is what I'm using now because the car was running really shaky before when I started it up with this other stuff. So I'm using some 6mm now, and obviously it's good because this stretches over, and to be honest with you, you probably don't even need any clips or clamps on this stuff. Once it goes on so tight. But everything's good. I've just finished my test drive now. Car's running really nicely. Very happy with it, happy with how the catch can now vent straight to atmosphere through the bottom of the car, and I've plugged it off here. Diverter valve fits a lot more sweetly with this hose. It's not kinked, it's not twisted, so yeah, really happy with this. Right guys, I'm so glad I've got those jobs out of the way now. All of the vacuum and boost hoses coming from the N75 valve and diverter valve are all sorted now. They're all so much better. Everything seems to be a lot more freely, no kinks, and it's obviously a lot newer as well. Some of those old rubber hoses, they get vacuum leaks eventually anyway. Shame that I messed up with those 8mm hoses, but now they're 6mm, everything's all good. Just got to wait for, I need to get a new ECU for the car, or a second-hand ECU, obviously get it programmed to run with my car for the mapping, because my car's not showing any lambda control on the ECU, and it's actually making the car run quite sluggish because the car's running rich, so I need to get that sorted out. Fuel pump injectors, brakes on, track rod ends, car track. The car's gonna absolutely fly when it comes around to the time of it getting mapped, and obviously it's going to stop as well with the brakes. Handle better once it's been tracked, because right now the steering wheel's slightly off and it's just not set up very well. I also need to do something with my anti-roll bar and my anti-roll bar links, because it's a little bit sketchy. But guys, thanks for coming to watch the video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.